Hello and welcome to our May listener episode. It's only 1 month away from our birthday month, and I know you all are gearing up for a special birthday extravaganza that you're all planning for us. Isn't that right?
Yeah, big fat party. One for me, one for Christy, and then one afterwards on the 5th so we can have a collective
And then a big
birthday.
combo party, yes. And then we're expecting something grand from you all. It's my 30th, by the way, Amity. So, it's a big one. That's big 3-0.
I forgot that you're
I know
turning...
you forgot, but I'm telling you now.
Ooh, that was...
I'm old.
Ooh, I didn't like that. That's okay. At least it's not me. Next year, there's going to be tears. There's going to be tears.
Well, I'm very glad that my COVID, because a lot of my friends had their COVID birthday be their 30th, and I felt kind of bad because they were home alone. So at least my 29th was, in the COVID pandemic, and now 30, at least I'll be able to go leave the house, hopefully, fingers crossed.
Yeah. Although it is wild. Like one day if my kids are like, What did you do when you were 28? I'd be like, literally, by all of being 28, I was inside.
Honestly, they'll never ask because that's all they'll hear about from us. They're never going to ask what we did in 2020. They're going to know because it's all we're going to complain about.
The last time my mom saw me was, for my 27th birthday.
Oh, my God.
So she's been properly screaming at me to go visit as soon as I'm all vaccinated, which hasn't happened yet. So also I do want to, before I forget, sorry to disrupt the fact that it's our birthday and we're about to not stop screaming about it. So appreciate this moment. Okay. But if you are listening to this on the day this comes out, May 1st, there are still 5 days left to vote for us in the Webbies. So please go do that. This is such a big deal. And I'm itching to see if we win. So
yeah, it would be splendid. So if you have a minute, go to bit.ly/ATWWD vote. It's really easy. And then you just have to confirm your email afterward and the vote is in. So we really appreciate if you could help. I appreciate if you keep us at 69%, which we've been steady. I think our listeners have caught on that that's the new plan. And we've been steady at 69 for a while now. So I appreciate that.
I think everyone's getting their significant others to vote just to keep us at that number.
You just got to keep us even, please. That's all I ask for. So, yeah, but I mean, Eva, so last month we did our Terry Carnation episode. The month before was Mothman, slam poetry centric. Mm-hmm. So it feels like forever since we've done one of these. And Eva said she's haunted now because the stories she picked were just, she just picked the best one she could find. And they were all apparently creepy stuff. So
I guess after not having to read scary stories for 2 months, it really, you get confident all of a sudden.
Yeah, I feel like you start having night terrors or something. You're not used to it anymore.
So, according to Eva, who's a ringing endorsement for how scary these are,
because she has to read them at night alone in her house. Yeah.
She said she feels haunted now, if that's any indication of how this is going to go.
She said she's haunted. And she said anyone can start. And I think for posterity's sake, you should begin, since you usually do.
Okay.
Keep it, back to our roots.
I love a good root. So
I love when I'm your shadow. It makes life easier on me. The pressure's off,
Okay, yeah. Look, be my shadow. I'm Peter Pan. I'm gonna stitch our little toes together.
You're trying
later.
To lose me. Oh wait, am I trying to lose you? I forget how Peter Pan
I think
goes.
we lost each other and then we were rekindled. Oh no, the shadow's trying to get away from me.
Well, that sounds about right. Okay, I'll see you later.
Checks out. Okay, so this is from nobody, anonymous.
Guess what? I forgot to hit record on this. Just on my on the Zoom. Sorry, everybody. If you're watching YouTube, Eva can cut this out on audio, but if you're watching YouTube, I forgot to turn on the video. So now we're here on video and the rest will be our beautiful faces.
No worries. And that actually gave me time to find the person's name. So this is from Leah, who's a she, her pronouns. Thank you for normalizing pronouns. And the subject line is the story of me being haunted for most of my life. Great.
Cute.
Excellent. This says, hey there, Christine M. and friends. I've been loving your show. I've been loving your show for a while now, and it for sure gave me life since the pandemic started. Wow. I've been wanting to write in for a while, but honestly, I really didn't know where to start about my whole experience with ghosts. So I'll be sharing my ghost attachment from childhood into adulthood. Yikes. So sorry in advance. This is a long one, but I want to make sure I don't miss anything. When I was a young child, I would hear voices in other rooms. My mom worked from home a lot, and yes, sometimes she would be on the phone in the other room. However, there's a difference from a phone conversation and a whole group of people laughing and carrying on.
Not nowadays because we're on Zoom most of the time, but back then, yes.
That, excellent point. From now on, when I think there's a party in the other room, it could just be a Zoom party
Allison's
without
in a
me.
meeting. Yeah, that's all. Don't worry about it. But that back then, that was not really a thing. So
Can confirm.
yikes.
My parents would blame it on neighbors possibly talking or a radio outside, and they blamed it on my imagination. Can you imagine blaming actual noise on your imagination?
Also, like the radio. It's both your imagination and the radio working in tandem.
Right. It's just you thinking really hard until the radio just blurted on. Well, thinking back at it now, it doesn't seem that way. When I was in the 5th grade, our house was struck by lightning and burnt to the ground.
Oh,
wow.
God.
Wow, that took a turn. That's when it became more active. I believe whatever was in our home followed us. We stayed in a condo while our house was rebuilt and things started to be more
Wait,
apparent.
this happened to me.
Come again?
This is like the same story. When I was in, I think it was 8th grade, though, our house burnt down because it got struck by lightning and it was super haunted and we had to live in a condo for a while. And that condo was haunted AF. And I was pretty sure whatever ghost, what's his name again? I haven't talked about him a long time at my dad's house. Mr. Chatfield, like followed us to the condo. So this is very familiar to me anyway.
4 years of a friendship. I never knew your house burned down by lightning. That sounds like something we should have
I feel like
talked
it's something
about.
I talk about a lot, so I try to shut up about it because I feel like it's kind of all I talk about. But
That's like, okay, seconds ago before we started recording, Christine was like, I didn't know you like outlet malls. And I was like,
I didn't say that. I said I didn't know you like spending a whole day shopping. That's what I said. Outlet malls, of course, fair. I know that is something that you would appreciate.
But fun fact, I love a good shopping spree. I love a good shopping spree. If any of my friends were like, "Hey, I need to like go get some pants," I'd be
what
like,
the hell? We never
it's
went
about to
shopping
become
together.
I don't know. I think because
we were broke as hell.
Oh, that might be it. But also, I feel the same way that you feel about your lightning house story, where I'm like, I never shut up about it to most people. So I guess with you, I just tried to keep it quiet.
Or maybe we just thought we assumed the other knew it already. You know, I feel like that happens a lot where I'm like, oh, well, you knew that, so I never told you. But I guess
you knew my house got caught by lightning.
It was actually pretty wild because I thought I've told the story, but
how did you get out of the house?
It was like really wild. I swear to God, it was like some sort of divine intervention. So every week I had to spend 2 nights a week with my dad, like spend the night, 2 weeks a night or 2 nights a week. And I was never allowed to like go do stuff that day because it was like my dad's day. And I just like begged him to let me go to Renee's house, and I begged my stepmom, and they were like, absolutely not. Like literally had never let me go stay somewhere. But I was, for whatever reason, I was like, you don't understand. I need to not be here tonight. And I pitched such a fit. Like, I don't know. It wasn't something that I had ever done before, but I pitched such a fit that finally they gave up and they were like, whatever. And they were so pissed at me and like basically kicked me out. We're like, fine, go to Renee's house, see if we care. So I went to Renee's house and I was like, oh my God, they're going to kill me tomorrow, but whatever. And then the next morning, my stepmom was like, I'm picking you up at 8 a.m. on a Saturday as like punishment, I guess. And so I was like, the next morning I woke up at like 11 a.m. and I was like, oh my God, they forgot to pick me up. This is amazing. Like,
they left me
cereal and like, I don't have to go like sit and get yelled at by my dad. So I was like so happy. And then a few hours later, I was like, okay, now I'm actually like, think they left me. And finally my stepmom calls and there's like all this ruckus. And she's like, did you hear? And I was like, hear what? She's like, we had a huge fire last night. And I was like, what? And it turns out my room had completely burned like to the ground, and firefighters came and like talked to us and I don't know, fire safety. I don't know what, but they came and talked to me and they were like, yeah, you would have died of smoke inhalation within like minutes. And I was like, oh, cool.
Whoa.
And the whole second story of our house just burned to a crisp. So I just happened to be out of there that day. Thank God. So my room was bye-bye and we lived in a condo for a while.
Jeez.
Anyway.
Whoa.
It was pretty wild. It was pretty wild. It was the only night ever in my life that my dad and stepmom let me stay somewhere else. So
holy crap.
Maybe.
Oh my God. Okay. Well,
anyway, sorry to like totally derail Leah, but
we had just had 2 listener stories in one, I guess.
We have a similar experience in that regard. And I always felt bad that Mr. Chatfield, because my bedroom was the room he died in. And I was like, oh God, he probably didn't like that it burned down.
If anything, I would say that he sensed something was going to happen in his room and he got you out of there. I would
He's a
say
very
he
nice
saved
ghost.
you.
Yeah, he's
He
a
probably
very
saved you.
gentle ghost. Maybe that's true. He found my retainer that one time.
Look, he's really looking out for you. And if he were still around today, he'd be helping you find your social security card on the ground in a bar.
Maybe that's what he did. Maybe he sent you, my guardian angel, to go pick it up off the sticky floor.
I'm just the live walking Mr. Chatfield to pick up all the things you drop out of your purse in public. Okay, let's try this again with Leah. So Leah was saying that her parents used to blame a lot of noises all over the house for, one thing or another, but never ghosts. And then when she was, and then she realized that things started getting worse and they moved to their condo after their house caught on fire, a la Christine. When we stayed in a condo for a while when our house was being rebuilt and things started to feel more apparent. I would be in front of a mirror getting ready for school and I would see a dark figure out the corner of my eye constantly. One day when I was home alone, I saw a dark figure sprint down the hall. Absolute sprint? Mm-mm. No. Mm-mm. That means it can absolutely catch up to me because I'm not going to sprint.
No one else is sprinting in this house.
After things started escalating to seeing figures, I yelled out for whatever it was to leave me alone. I guess it worked for the time being because nothing happened for a while until we moved back to our old house. One night I was falling asleep and I felt a presence next to me. I opened my eyes and I saw a large hand of a man right over my face.
Okay. That's
Immediately, I screamed, and my large folding fan wall piece flew off the wall about 5 feet to my left, hitting my desk.
Oh no!
My dad blamed it on being my own hand, despite.
That's such a Are you sure you weren't holding your own hand over your face?
Oh my God! Despite me telling him it was a man's hand, okay, sure, but how do you explain something nailed to a wall being flung across the room?
Can you imagine? That is some shit I would do though. Wake up and be like, "There's a hand," and Blaze is literally holding your hand.
To be fair, I have freaked myself out with my own hand before because sometimes I sleep like this, woe is
then
me.
You wake up with it. Yeah,
and then I'm like, Whoa! Okay.
So maybe Dad was right in some regard, not for you, Leah, but for us.
My dad would have been correct.
Yeah.
Well, that's when my worst nightmares started happening. Oh. Okay, yikes. I think one of the scariest times I was dead ass asleep and I dreamed something had come into my room. In the dream, this dark figure with no face came over and turned my lamp on. And that means he knows technology. I don't like that he has an awareness.
Technology of lamps. Yeah.
Electricity,
really advanced technology.
They know how something works. Usually I like to think that they just kind of are floating there and unaware of things. But if something's going to walk over and turn on your lamp, it's it has intentions.
It has intentions. Yes. That's frightening.
I was dead ass asleep. I dreamed something came into my room. In my dream, this dark figure with no face came over and turned my lamp on and was looking at me and made me get up and look in the mirror with it behind me.
Oh, no.
That is intentional if I've ever heard it. When I tried to wake myself up, I realized I had sleep paralysis. Ugh. This always has happened since I was a child, and I was trying to get out of it. When I finally woke up, I realized that my lamp had been turned on beside my bed, and I nearly wet myself.
Yep.
This is when I learned when you tell other people your experiences, they think you're nutso. So I kept this between my best friend and myself. I threw out the rest of my time growing up in that house. All throughout the rest of the time.
I was I would throw out the rest of my time there too. Toss it in the trash.
All throughout the rest of my time growing up in that house, I was constantly afraid of doing my makeup in mirrors because I was afraid of whatever it was. Fast forward to when I graduated and moved out. I moved into my new apartment, and that's when I was able to see a full-grown man instead of a dark body apparition.
Ah!
He was tall and angry and had a large top hat.
Oh, it's a hat man.
It's always a hat man.
It's a hat man.
His new hobbies included banging our cabinets open and shut when I was trying to sleep and waiting at the end of the staircase when I started climbing the stairs to my room.
Why would you do such a thing?
Can you imagine you're hanging out in your living room and you keep wanting to go upstairs to go to bed, but the creepy hat man is waiting at the bottom of the steps to so you have to pass it to go to your room? Is he waiting
at the top or the bottom?
He's waiting at the bottom.
Oh. That's bad. Also, is your window open?
My window? No.
Yeah. Why is your curtain moving?
Oh, because the vent is diagonal.
Oh
Don't
my
worry.
god. I was like,
Don't
there's
worry.
movement in the background.
No, it exactly hits where the fan is
It's like
blowing.
weirdly started suddenly swaying. Oh god.
Before
Okay.
I learned like how like this apartment works and I was learning all the sounds and stuff, I would see that thing move all the time and piss my pants.
It's not good.
Let me double check that I said that right too. His new hobbies include banging our cabinets and waiting at the end of the staircase when I started climbing the stairs to my
But I
room.
think that she means like at the end, like at the top, like waiting for you to, which is even worse
Either
because
you're
halfway up, you're kind of like, oh my God, I have to either
now
turn
you're on
around.
stairs and you have
Now
to
you're,
run.
and this thing
Ugh.
sprints. You're in trouble.
Uh, I moved on with it and tried to put it out of my mind and block it for a while until my roommates had one of our family meetings. There were four of us living there at the time, and they brought up the fact that weird things had been happening to them. One
Mm.
particular roommate said he didn't believe in ghosts, but told me he'd been seeing a black figure in his mirror and hearing noises and footsteps downstairs at night when we either weren't home or upstairs in bed. The other two said that they had been noticing the weird mirror thing as well, but had not seen an apparition. Just felt like someone was staring at them while they were getting ready, typically in the hallway. Ugh.
Yikes.
This was when I was like, "Oh damn, this is very much real," and I brought this ghost with me from my childhood home. One day I was think of like the vacation your parents had though, of
Oh
like
yeah. Why are
they
we
were like,
sleeping so well
finally.
nowadays? Yeah.
One day I was talking with some coworkers about my haunted apartment, and one of them said he could help. Everyone thought this guy at work was a bit odd because he bragged about collecting ghosts and was practicing being a medium. Zach?
Collecting them? Yeah, Zach.
Collecting ghosts. That's very Zach. But honestly, I was like, whatever helps the situation, I'm all in. So when he came over that week, the first thing out of his mouth was, "Oh my God, I definitely feel a presence here," and is very unhappy.
Oh my
He
God, how
brought
much do you want for this ghost? I'm adding it to my collection.
I gotta have him. I choose you. Um, I waited a week or so and talked with my roommate. Oh, sorry, wrong paragraph. He brought me a candle and some sort of broom with him and made me sit with him in my room where the ghost man mainly messed with me. He told me to hold a picture of it in my head and close my eyes as he lit the candle. He went around the house in a sweeping motion and covered every inch of the house and returned back to me. He told me that what that candle finished burning would go with him and leave us alone. I realized almost immediately after the candle was completely burnt out later that day that I almost felt lighter as a person. I waited a week or so and talked with my roommates, and they all agreed that nothing strange had happened since he'd come over and done that ritual. I'm forever grateful that for that awesome thing he did for us, and it really means the world that I haven't had to deal with that negative presence since then. Again, sorry this was so long, but I wanted to share the full story. Thank you, and that's why I drink.
Wow, that's why I drink as well. Holy cannoli.
Hmm.
Hat man stuff freaks me out.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not about that.
No, me neither.
It reminds me also when like she had that dream where the lamp turned on and then she woke up and the lamp was really on. Deirdre used to have dreams like that where she had some sort of sleep paralysis and she thought she was having sleep paralysis and her eyes were open and she was seeing all this, or she was like dreaming she was seeing what was actually going on while she was unconscious, and she would feel something really evil in her room and see her own like doorknob rattling, and then it would like bust open and she would feel someone walk in and stare at her while she was sleeping, and when she'd wake up the door was open.
Yeah, I don't like that at all because it's almost like, see, you thought it was a dream, but
You thought you were safe.
it's like a horror movie.
Ugh. Anyway, thank you, Leah, and also sorry, Leah.
And also, no thank you.
All right.
All right, this next one is from Jaswill. Oh, that's a nice name.
That's a super cool name.
Jaswill Grace, who's a she, her pronouns. Thank you. So let's see. This is called Perhaps Dark Entities Can Be Inherited. That's not good news.
Good night.
That's not good news. I just discovered your podcast and I really, really love to contribute one of the many stories I have experienced. It has been a wonder why I have experienced a lot of the things a normal person shouldn't experience. I either have a very imaginative mind to experience these occurrences, or perhaps this is an innate gift inherited from my mother's genes. Is that possible? Maybe. Let me tell you of a story of a creature I've encountered. This encounter started when I was a kid. I remembered I was 8 when I finally moved into my own room from my parents' bedroom. As a kid, I finally felt the sense of independence and took pride to prove that I'm finally mature. But this is where I met the monster that has haunted me for many years. It was perhaps my first week in my own room when I first realized that perhaps I'm not alone. In the darkness, I saw a dark, hairy figure staring at me. It has been like this for several nights. I am unable to sleep. Sometimes I see him peering outside the window. On bad days, I can see him at the edge of my bed, just standing there staring and waiting. But as I grew older, I see this dark figure less and less. But at that time, I could actually sense an ominous feeling prior to actually seeing the figure. The feeling was like all air was gone, and I could feel heaviness in my body, and boom, the bastard is there. You can say I could preempt it. Ew.
Ooh, like it was almost like that alien thing you're terrified of. If you're thinking about it, it'll show up.
Yes. Oh,
and
ew.
I like how on bad days it would come inside just to make matters really fucking
Just
bad.
to stand
like
really close to the bed.
It's like I'll look out your window on good days, but when you're not feeling it, I'm gonna be up on your bed. So
I think
get
what
ready.
you meant was like when it was extra bad, it was actually that close. Like I think she
Oh,
meant
it was extra bad.
because
not the day was bad.
But it could be either way. Like, oh, you got a D in English. Well, guess what I'm gonna do to make it worse?
I guess in theory it was like which came first, because if it's on your bed, you are gonna have a worse day.
I think that's kind of what she meant. But I mean, either way, I think it would work and makes total sense.
Either way.
On a bad day, it would stand next to my bed.
I thought it could like sense like, it's Monday, the Monday blues.
Not another Monday.
Just a case of the Mondays. I'll pop up on your pillow.
Just your hairy friend is here. Oh man. Years pass and I'm already a college student. One day, my mom, out of the blue, tells me and my sister her stories from when she was a teenager. She told me of her wild adventures and, of course, some ghost stories. It was then that she told us that when she was young, she was haunted by this dark figure she met when she went to my grandpa's farm in the province. The quack doctor, Albulario, as we call it here in the Philippines, Albulario, I hope I'm saying that right, said that a capre has attached itself to my mom. There were rituals done to protect her from the creature, and for some time she was not able to see this figure. The figure she described was the same figure I had met when I was 8 years old.
Uh-oh.
The creepy part was I asked when was the last time she saw the figure. Her reply, the last time I saw the figure was at the edge of my hospital bed when I got out from the surgery. She had had a C-section operation when I gave birth to you.
Ew, first of all, it watched your birth and then it attached to you, like the next generation.
This is a bad day because you're having a surgery and I'm going to stand directly over your bed.
You're in labor. That's like a real rough day. Like I'm for sure going to be there. RSVP, yes.
Oh my God, that's a horrifying. The last time I saw it was first of all, that's the worst place to see it, as you kind of said. Already. But so then the last time you ever see it is at the second your child comes onto the earth. Oh no.
The last time you saw it was the first time it saw your kid and said, I've moved on to better things.
I wonder if the newborn saw it at the edge of the bed.
Imagine
how are you my mommy?
It's like that Dr. Seuss book, Are You My Mother? And just like looking at like a bulldozer and a dog and everything. And now also like this weird capre movie.
Are you my mother? Oh no. So she says, creepy, right? Yes.
Mm-hmm.
After my mom told her story, my sister came to me and confessed that she too had had similar experiences with what my mom had experienced. My mom's stories and my sister's confession proved that I was not a crazy kid turned adult. P.S. In the Philippines, there are multiple accounts of women experiencing these creatures getting attached to them to the point they are sexually assaulted. Oh my God.
Oh no.
But I've never heard an account in which this creature is passed on to another generation. Ugh, I have a goose cam.
I hate that.
Hope you like my story. I've told these 100 times and hope I can hear this on your podcast. I'm Team Milkshake. M should try the ube/taro or avocado milkshake. It's the bomb.
I'll try ube, but I'm not trying avocado. That I've had an avocado smoothie and that was already pretty gross. I don't want to add.
I don't think you'd like ube either then.
Oh, really? Why?
Are
they the same consistency?
It's just a similar kind of different, like it's a different, I don't know. I lived in Koreatown, so that's kind of, I ate ube ice cream all the time, but I just, in my head, it's not something you'd be super into, but maybe it is. Maybe I didn't know you like outlet malls. Maybe you love ube. I don't know.
I'm just like a basic bitch at the end of the day. I just want to go to the outlets and shop and have some ube. So do you mind?
I'm like, I want like every topping ever on, and you're like, I just want a vanilla milkshake. Can you like not make it complicated?
I'll try it, but here's the thing. The way I like to try things is usually I hope other people order it and I take a bite so I don't have to commit to the whole thing.
Face and yeah. I do like taro. I had a taro bubble tea the other day. One of the best things I've ever drunk in my life.
Oh, what is
So good.
taro?
I think it's a root. Let me Google it to make sure. Yes, it's a starchy root vegetable. Listen,
Huh.
I don't know why it's so good, but it was so
Speaking of starchy roots, I recently fell in love with jicama.
Oh, really?
Like to an like to a point where like I think Allison's were I'm eating like a jicama a day.
Oh my God, how do you eat it? Like how do you make it? How do you prepare it?
So I've been having fun with it. So
I'm
so
so glad you asked.
it's so fun, so cute. So okay, so well, I was just doing it because I like fell in love with it on like fruit carts out here, and
Mhm.
they always have it. And I usually for a fruit cart I would just get like watermelon and mango or like pineapple, and that's it. I don't get like the whole shebang. But
Mhm.
then one of them threw in jicama one day, and I was like, oh, this is something I can fuck with. And I hadn't had it since my ISS days because Renee used to eat jicama all the time,
Ah.
and so I remember eating it then being like, this is really good. But then I forgot what it was called and I never touched it again. And then I saw it on the fruit carts and I was like, okay, this is going to be my new thing. So I have now been getting a lot of jicama scents in our apartment. And
Me
I've been
too. It's
doing
very
like,
healthy, I
it's
think.
very good. The way that Renee used to describe it to me was if you like the feeling of raw potato in your mouth, but it tastes like a sugar snap pea, you'll like jicama. And I'm
Aha,
like,
yeah. Actually, so excellent, Renee. What a
it's perfect.
comparison.
It's perfect. So I've been cutting them up like French fry size because that's like what I saw in the fruit cart. But I recently peeled one and then just like ate it
Wow,
a
you're really
ball.
into it, huh?
I just wanted to see what it would be like, and it was beyond excellent.
Are
So
you one of those weird people that eats a tomato like an apple?
yeah, of course.
Oh, I thought so. Yeah, I can't deal with that. It
That
freaks
was
me out.
my that was actually like just eating like a raw tomato was my go-to snack all through school.
I mean,
Like
I love to like I will slice up an entire tomato and put salt on it and eat it, but I can't fathom eating it like as an
why?
apple.
It's less
I don't
waste.
know because I've never I mean, I cut up the whole like I eat the whole tomato, but I just the thought of biting into it something is so weird. Like I've never it's
Oh,
like
it's
when
so
people eat a
good.
kiwi without peeling it and I'm like, you eat the furry part? Like I don't
That's
get it.
that's trash. That's trash. But there's
No,
no
that's how most countries do it. Like we're the weirdos apparently.
whatever. I'm happy to be a weirdo in that case. But like but no, with a I mean, the only difference is like the shape you're eating it
I
in.
know, like logically, I know that doesn't make sense. It's just like mentally, there's a block there for me. I don't know, but I love tomato. Tomato with salt is my jam. Anyway, this is so not what anybody came here for. I'm so sorry. Guess what?
Okay.
Fruit and vegetable I like to eat.
Oh my god. I'm
So
so sorry.
boring.
I'm
No,
so sorry everyone.
it's not
Okay.
you. It's me.
Here it's I just talked about jicama like it was no one's business. Um so here we go. This is from Sharon. And Sharon uses, well, we don't know Sharon's pronouns. Uh-oh. It says, let's call me Sharon. So I'm thinking this is also
Let's call me
anonymous.
Sharon.
I'm thinking they're anonymous. So, and it also, it starts with just, hello, lemon.
Okay, this is a chap I can get behind.
I think actually, since it's anonymous, I'm pretty sure this is lemon.
I'm pretty sure Lemon didn't know how to create a fake pseudonym. And it's just like, this is me, Sharon.
Okay, hi Sharon. So it says, hello Lemon. I'm a night shift patrol officer for a scientific company. I don't want to
Ooh.
disclose any personal information because I could get fired for releasing it. Oh, okay. One night I was doing surveillance around the grounds and I see a hovering ball of light that came out of nowhere. I watched in awe, unblinking. It took my breath away. I'm going to assume you're at Area 51. I know that's probably not true, but I'm just, for my own imagination, I want this to be Area
We're
51.
building out a world for you, Sharon.
It was a dull yellow light hovering 4 feet off the ground above a road. The light starts to expand to about 3 feet. As I came out of my trance of surprise, I took my night vision binoculars and looked closer at it. The dull yellow light turned into a 3-dimensional tunnel hovering above the ground, and I could see a light shining through from within the opening.
Wormhole.
That's a wormhole.
You just did that episode.
God damn it. It's all the synchronicities really freak me out.
It is, really.
I could see a light shining through from within the opening. So there was another end.
Yeah.
On the other side of the opening was the normal background, and I could see what was supposed to be behind this floating tunnel. Slowly, a humanoid looking creature crept out on its elbows from the tunnel.
Good night and goodbye, cruel world. I am exiting this mortal plane. I'm not interested in being here anymore. Goodbye.
If you were exiting the mortal world, I have a suggestion. You could take the tunnel up.
Crawling out on my elbows.
Via elbow.
I'm crawling off this mortal coil on my elbows. I'll see you next time. Goodbye.
A large, around 8 foot tall black creature.
No.
A head, no neck, a
Nope.
torso, arms, and legs. And obviously elbows. We can't forget the elbows.
Obviously, just elbows. No other joints. Just 2 elbows.
The creature grabbed the edges of the tunnel and pulled itself through. It stepped onto the ground, stood up, and ran into the dark night. After the creatures disappeared, the tunnel got smaller and smaller, collapsing in on itself, and then faded away. I stood there for at least 5 minutes after the portal had disappeared, trying to comprehend what just happened. I haven't seen this creature since. Whoa.
Okay, Sharon, this is like when a spider gets loose in your room and you don't see it anymore, and you're like, now it's gonna like be here somewhere near me. That's what I would feel like if I never saw the creature exit the mortal coil. I'd be like, oh no, those elbows are coming for me.
I sure would like to see it enter that tunnel again.
I sure would like to
do you
open
mind?
that back up.
Do you mind?
Do you mind?
Oh, man. And also, I have to believe it out of originality. Like no one shoots for the elbow storyline, you know?
Creepy,
and
dude.
Also, I've never thought, because you think like a UFO, like a beam of light or something, but you don't ever think of like an inflatable tunnel just popping out and people can grab the edges of it. Like to sense that there's like an awareness of this cavity you're in and you can climb out.
You can climb in and out. I mean, that really does go with your wormhole. I was going to say your theory about wormholes as if like you were now
I am Stephen Hawking.
But you know what I mean.
Yes.
The wormhole point of like parallel dimensions or how cryptids might be able to enter and exit. It's terrible. Or aliens. I mean, it's all terrible. It's all terrible.
If every single story about aliens is true for like more or less, like if the general understanding of like, oh, beam of light or this tunnel theory or crash landing, if all of them are true, I don't like how many options there are for these aliens entering our world.
We don't have. Like, we don't have access to any of those options, and they do. There's no way to defend yourself.
And how many options might be invisible that we don't even know exist. Like, these are just a handful of the ones we get to witness sometimes.
Glimpsed, right.
Ugh.
Okay.
Anyway, thank you, Sharon.
What the hell? It's also creepy that it was at a scientific facility. Like, who knows what scientific facility what they were working on, or probably like cat food. It wasn't interesting, but you never know. Maybe it was something really.
It
crazy.
was Purina, actually. It was.
That's actually Cincinnati, P&G. So that's, I think, Purina.
I would think the only places I can think of that are for sure scientific facilities are Area 51 or like the Pasadena place.
Yes.
I forget what it's called, but it's in Pasadena, and it's where allegedly Project Pegasus happened with all the time travel.
Creepy. Yeah, I feel like those are like those scientific areas are ripe for creepiness to happen at the edges, like very Stranger Things-esque.
Anyway.
Yikes. All right. Well, thanks, Sharon, for that. Okay, let's see. Also, I could, if I'm wrong about the cat food, don't yell at me. I don't know. I'm not a scientist. Or
it was actually just rabbit food. So
it might have been something completely different. Okay, let's see. This is from. This is from Megan.
Is it from Megan?
Yeah, it's a Megan.
Oh, God damn it. Okay.
But Megan says sorry. So at least she's self-aware.
I'm Megan with awareness. Thank you.
This is the first step to recovery is to acknowledge your existence. Okay. This is from Megan. It says, hello, spooky gang. I'd list everyone's names and titles, but it's 5:50 a.m. and I'm not quite together enough to remember all that right now.
5:50? What are you doing? First of all, if you're up at 5:50, that means you have somewhere to be, which means aren't you late? Like you shouldn't have to write. You don't have time to write this.
Or it's an empathy move and she just stayed up that late, which is also entirely possible.
That's fair. Or you woke up early just to write this, which I'll also judge you for.
Any sense. I have a feeling it's like staying up late because...
Fingers crossed.
Yeah, probably. That would be more our brand. All right. Longtime listener here. I found you after you'd published 4 episodes. Oh, so you're allowed. You're
Oh.
grandfathered in Megan because we yelled at Megan's after that point. So you didn't
Uh-huh.
even. We kind of bullied you after you'd already been part of the circle.
Uh-huh. Yep.
Oops, for that I apologize. I just had the creepiest experience and had to share with you all right away because you're the only group of people who will understand how spooky this is. I live in Colorado and I just fled my abusive marriage of almost 11 years. Wow.
Oh my gosh.
Congratulations.
Wow.
Good job. We're very proud of you.
Very proud.
I'm living alone for the first time in my life and renting a little guest house from a nice older lady that my dad knows. That's precious. My ex has been volatile and while not exactly directly threatening, made concerning enough comments that I've taken precautions to ensure he doesn't know my new address. I even have my mail forwarding to my parents' house for now, so the address doesn't show up on my divorce documents. Only a handful of close friends and family and my company management even know I'm renting my own place. It's been a month to the day yesterday since I moved in. It's in a quiet, mountainy part of town. The guest house is a bit down the drive from the main house and fairly far from the street, so I almost never see anyone or get much traffic at all outside the Amazon delivery person, who, at least at my house, arrives every day. I don't know about you guys, but for me personally, Christine talking, that's my most frequent visitor. Or my landlord walking her dog. The house is older, built in the 60s, and my landlord's dad built it, so there's a lot of family history here. She grew up here and her kids grew up here. Her husband passed away last summer, so her kids and she are glad to have someone younger close by in case she needs help with anything. It was a win-win situation for me to move in, and it's been amazing so far. Anyways, last night it snowed about an inch. Okay, maybe this is why she's up at 6 a.m. We'll see.
Could be
The story
it.
starts last night. Last night it snowed about an inch. Yes, it's late April. Sister, I'm with you. It's fucking terrible. And my 3 cats and I were snuggled into bed soundly by 10. This morning around 5:30.
Okay, here we
Man,
are.
we need to just shut our mouths, man, and just let people talk.
Look, you and Reddit have said it all. We do really need to just shut up.
Everybody's like, just stop talking. Oh my God. This morning around 5:30, I woke up and heard my front door lock unlatch.
Goodbye.
It's a push button lock. That's not good. Not common for residential places, but I digress. I heard it unspring, which is a very distinct sound, as you know. So I'm picturing like the ones in like bathrooms where you push the button in.
I'm thinking so too.
It's not a very strong lock, I would think, for an outdoor door. I woke up and heard my door locked. Push button lock, not common. I heard it unspring, which is a very distinct sound, as you know. 2 of my cats jumped off the bed, and I fully woke up to hear what sounded exactly like wet boots walking around on the linoleum.
Oh my God.
The entire house has linoleum flooring. Pausing, then walking around again. My other old cat was still sitting next to me, but in a crouch and staring out my bedroom door, which faces the front door. Oh my God. I didn't see anything, and normally my 2 younger cats hide under the bed when someone else comes over, but they were just sitting at the bedroom door, staring into the living room and at the front door. But I continued to hear the boots walking around and pausing for a solid minute. I decided it wasn't going to help me not get murdered laying in bed, so I jumped out of bed, clicked on the light, and said hello in what I hoped was a very confident and irritated tone. Hold on, let me try that again. Hello?
Yeah.
Now I sound like I'm trying to like audition for Seinfeld and it's not working.
You sound like me when I'm like not paying attention and you just want us to order food. You're like, hello, tell me what the fuck you want to eat.
Just want a pizza. It sounds like Eva, you know, when Eva is like frustrated. I know you guys aren't going to believe it. Sometimes Eva gets annoyed about things. It's hard to believe. But sometimes she does because she spends a lot of time with us. But like we'll be talking about something and she'll go, hello. And it's honestly one of the funniest things I've ever heard in my life.
I love when Eva gets fired up. It's so fun.
With like a hello.
You nailed it though. That's exactly how she says it.
It cracks me up because then I always laugh and then I feel bad because I'm like, she's like annoyed about something, but it makes me laugh.
You nailed it though. That's exactly how she says it. Wow. I'm going to start calling you randomly and be like, can you do the Eva voice?
It's like the time when I called out the eek spelled ek and now we like can't unsee.
Oh, it's you did it perfectly.
Oh, thank you. At least I won't be on Seinfeld, but if anyone needs me to play Eva.
Can you say hello like this person did? Like Megan?
Hello? Wait, you want me to say it like Eva or like this person?
Say it like, read the sentence again, but say it like Eva.
Okay, well, I'm trying to picture all the cats, so I'm already in character as Eva. Okay, hang on. boots walking around. I don't know. I feel like Eva would just call us and be like, "Are you at my house? Please get out. This is not what I need right now." M climbed in through the patio.
I can't think the fence is too tall.
You climbed in. Who am I kidding? Oh boy. Okay. Blah, blah, blah. Let's see. Staring out the door, Boots walking around, pausing, shouted hello in what I hoped was a very confident and irritated tone. I didn't see anyone, but the door, which I had definitely locked the day before, was unlocked. I walked around the little house, quickly checking under and behind everything, and made sure no one was there. I went to lock my door again after ensuring no one was in my house, and decided to open the door and look outside to see if there were footprints in the snow. There were none.
Oh, God.
Anyway, you have to walk down a little stone path to get to my front door or hop the fence, and none of the snow had been disturbed. Sure, I could have misremembered locking the door and simply hearing things playing tricks on my mind, but I'm very glad there is snow everywhere outside, or I wouldn't be totally certain someone wasn't just in my house.
Truly.
I know, that would be very frightening. I know the sounds of the house well enough by now to know what I heard wasn't a usual sound, and I know I heard boots squeaking and footsteps. And the cats did too, which, by the way, always freaks me out because they're not, they don't have, I don't think, the imagination that we do to trick ourselves into thinking
right. Truly.
things. So I don't know what that was all about, but I'm going to go get some sage/smudge sticks from the local metaphysical shop ASAP today. Anyways, if you end up happening to read this, thanks for reading. I hope you all are having a fantastic day, and I can't wait till live shows in person are a thing again. Mucho love to you all. Megan, sorry.
First of all, now, so we'll bookend this conversation where I was judging her being up at 5:50 to now me being like, I love how with like 20 minutes after something happened, she was like, I got to email, and that's why we drink.
Honestly, like primo listener, like just
that's a loyal fan.
You more and be so more thankful for you. And in the beginning, you were probably like, wow, they're dissing me hard without even like having any information.
It's like,
and you were right.
I've already gone through enough. Can't you see?
My name is Megan. I've been through a lot. No, but truly, wow. And also, thank God nobody. I mean, thank God the snow was there to actually prove to you,
really,
that physically at least there was nobody there. You should ask if, maybe you don't feel comfortable, but if you do, you should ask if they ever hear like the husband who died or somebody walking around.
Yeah, I'd be like, this is really awkward, but has someone died in the place I'm staying? Because something's going on in there.
The husband died last summer.
Oh, right.
So
oh my gosh.
I wonder if anybody has like heard that before, or
be like, well, homeboy's still here.
Well, so he's busy, I guess.
His shoes are wet. He needs help.
Yeah, first of all, get a welcome mat. Not you, Megan, like the guy. Very rude. Wow.
All right. This is from Haley. Haley, I don't know your pronouns, and this is a perfect example of why we should normalize pronouns, so I would know how to refer to you. I'm gonna call you Big H. All right. This is the subject line. The man who is disappointed and watches me sleep. Uh-oh, that sounds like Blaze probably every now and then.
Please stop snoring. You keep waking me up, and I'm so disappointed.
All right. Big H says, hi, Em and Christine. I recently started listening to your podcast from the very beginning, and I just started
yelled normalized pronouns at you yet, so I'm sorry we're shaming you.
You don't know any. You don't know any better because we didn't know any better yet either. So you're in the clear so far.
You're in the clear.
I just finished listener episode 13. I love your podcast, and it helps me get through my long days as an insurance agent. I'm only 18. And I'm on team milkshake, but I do enjoy a nice communion wine every Sunday. I am not a huge believer in the paranormal, but I do have a story that you might like. Also, I appreciate that, Haley, in case you're wondering, we're reading this in 2021. So
right.
If you're on episode 13, you may not hear this for a while.
Listener episode 13 would have been in 2018. So yeah, Geez, that's 3 years ago now.
You've got a while, my friend.
Oh my God.
I can't say for sure if this was or is paranormal, but I will say it only happens at my dad's house and never my mom's. This started happening 2 years ago. I would turn out my light and roll to my side and go to bed. And then as I was laying with my eyes closed, I'd hear someone come into my room, walk over to my bed, lean over, and then whisper, I am disappointed.
Dad? Mom? God, who is it? Oh no.
What on earth? Oh
Okay,
my god.
I'm putting the pieces together because
It's your dad.
they said communion wine, so they're probably Catholic, and that is just that's just a normal thing that happens to Catholics. Is we just have this guilt that builds in our minds. So I get it, Haley. You're not
Oh my
alone.
god. That it is interesting that it only happens at your dad's. I'm just gonna say that
It's
the person with a more masculine voice is saying I'm disappointed in the corner. Also, yes, Catholic, so maybe it is Jesus Christ himself.
It could be God, big old G. He's up there and he's disappointed
Jesus
in all of us.
H Christ, H standing for Haley. So let's figure out what happens now.
Sure.
I would roll over. I'm sorry, I can't get over it. Like that's just the funniest ghost.
The wildest thing I've ever
Funniest-
heard.
Can you imagine if you were only haunted by someone who just is so disappointed with you?
It's like worse. It's like I'm not mad. I'm disappointed. It's like it's actually somehow worse. Like I'd rather have a demon be like, I'm gonna scratch your eyes out because at least that I know what to do with. But disappointed, like it's on me now.
It's like I don't even want to. Like I'd rather haunt someone else. Like we're both stuck in this.
Yeah, I don't want to hear as much as you know. Exactly.
I'm not proud. I don't get to go to like the ghost bar later and like brag about what's happening here.
Isn't fun for me. Oh.
All right. I would roll over to face the person who I thought was my dad, and there would be a man dressed in some old-timey decorated military uniform.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Just beyond awful. I would freak out and jump back against my wall, but by the time I got my bearings, he'd be gone. Oh, wow. The first few times I thought maybe it was a night terror, but it continues to happen. And this happened almost every night for 2 months. And it got to the point where I couldn't sleep. I didn't want to sleep anymore. Of course, why? I mean, you're filled with shame after 2 months.
Nothing's good enough.
Nothing's good enough. At one point, there was even a lady in an old maid uniform that when I was awake would enter my room and walk across the room and then exit through my wall.
Oh, fuck.
I told my mom about it and she told me to pray. Okay.
Catholic.
I started praying about it and the man went away. About 1 year went by before I had my biggest encounter. Uh-oh. I hate
that because it's like you prayed and it went away, and then what is it? Just building more energy? Like,
yeah.
If I'm gonna pray and it's just gonna make it build more energy, I don't want to do that. I don't know.
Oh my gosh. I was asleep, and at about 3 a.m., of course, I woke up to someone walking in the room. I sat up and peered over my bed to see a boy sitting on my floor playing with some sort of stick toy.
That's fun.
He was. Maybe it's hoop and stick.
I was just thinking. First, I thought Lincoln Logs, but hoop and stick makes sense.
Well, I guess
too.
you can't play it with hoop and stick on the floor.
That doesn't really make, especially by yourself alone inside.
Maybe it's like the stick with the ball in the cup.
Oh, that's fun. Yeah.
A lot of stick games out there, apparently.
Sticks.
Pick up sticks. That's for
stick.
sure it. That's many sticks. By the way, never mind. We'll get into that later.
Okay, tell me later. We talk about hoop and stick enough. We don't need to add.
I sat up and peered over my bed to see a boy sitting on the floor playing with some sort of stick toy. He was only wearing a leather flap, which goes along with these old spirits. Usually,
so like maybe it matched like the aesthetic or time period of the other ones.
They all went shopping the same day and got matching outfits.
They went to the outlet mall and
they did
the whatever store.
Leather flaps for 50% off. Apparently,
prehistoric outfit store. I don't know what it would be called.
Usually they disappear before I get to say anything or take a second look, but this time he stayed. I asked him why he was in my room and why he was bothering my family. I told him I was scared and he needed to leave me alone. He looked at me almost like he was processing what I had said. He grabbed his things and crawled under my bed.
Oh, sorry. That was loud. Oh my God.
I remember jumping down, trying to see him one more time, but since the day I haven't seen or heard anything. Hopefully this made sense, but I've been wanting to share for a while. Also, I can't comment on anything present day from you guys as I'm only on episode 53 now.
Well, no, because it was listener 13.
Right. To 2018 Christine, I hope your 30-day no wine went well.
I'm sure it did not. But thank you.
And M, I can't wait to hear about your clown days. Well,
Wait, this is adorable.
this is precious. Where it's like
so sweet.
it's like that movie with Sandra Bullock in the mailbox. You just like writing to each other from different time periods.
Oh yeah.
The Lake House? Was that what it's called?
Or wait, no, isn't that a horror movie? Hold on. It was something like that.
Someone in the past would stick letters in the mailbox for for someone in the future, and they would write to each other. Okay,
this is precious.
Also, hello, Geo and Blaze from
they're
Haley.
still here. Don't worry.
They're still here. They're still kicking. Wow. So let's keep in mind that apparently there is a portal under your bed, and that's how these things have
now that you
spirits have
say
been climbing.
that, we're all gonna keep it in mind. Jeez, that's terrifying.
Can you imagine looking a baby dead in the eyes, a little boy dead in the eyes, and saying, "You scare me"? And so he grabs his things and
he grabs his sticks,
crawls under the bed. It sounds like a little Tarzan with his leather flap and.
That's what I was thinking. Because if it's like a military man, an old lady, I'm just trying to picture this leather flap situation.
I mean, Tarzan had a leather flap, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Look, it's really uncomfortable that first of all, this spirit or whatever understood you, and then actually thank God was nice enough to leave, but
truly
just crawled under your bed and you just never saw them again.
Didn't leave through the proper exit, I would argue, but
no, but then also apparently you had to tell this one you were scared for it to leave, but would you have had to tell the military man you didn't like being shamed? Where is the line here? Because
that's a good point.
He had no problem coming out and just talking trash to you.
Yeah, I wonder if she just felt more, or they, I don't know the pronouns, but Big H. I wonder if Big H just, poor Haley's like, I wasn't there yet. Oh my God. I wonder if Haley didn't realize or didn't feel comfortable talking to the man, especially because it happened when they were sleeping.
Also, they were a kid and a grown-ass man.
Yeah, maybe it was oh, I see a kid. This is my chance to say something. And by the way, they're across the room, I guess, not hovering over your face, which would be a lot more intimidating.
I also guess realistically, the man could have been saying he was disappointed in himself for how the war ended. I guess I don't know.
It was the child's room, and the dad kept saying that to the little boy. And the little boy, that was his room in the past or something, and he was playing in his room.
Didn't even cross my mind. Wow. Maybe.
I don't know, but it sounds like something a parent would say to a child, not from personal experience.
Ooh, that's some goose cam right there.
But yeah, no, it sounds like a scary man talking to his son in the stereotypical movie sense,
Well, now that makes me feel bad for the little boy too, because he just wanted a friend, and the dad's like, "I'm disappointed." He's like, "I already only play with sticks. Do you fucking mind?"
A leather skirt. I don't even own a T-shirt or anything.
I'm disappointed too. Do better. Give me a bike.
Get me a friend so I don't have to throw the hoop and stick myself and go catch it.
All right. Thank you, Big H. We appreciate you.
That was great. And I love that you're behind and you're going to catch up and be like, wait, what? And then we're going to be 3 years ahead. And who knows? It'll be really chaotic, but I can't wait. All right. So let's see. Is this the last one? No.
This is the second to last. This is your last one.
Oh, my last. Wait, no, you went first.
Yeah, but there's 7.
Oh, sorry. I always forget that there's an extra. Okay.
Cool. Eva did a bonus one this time around.
I literally don't know how to count anything. Okay. This is from, okay, let's see. Oh, Jay. They, them pronouns. Thank you, Jay. So it says, hello, I'm Christine, and and that's why we drink family. My name is Jay, they, them. The one good thing out of the disgusting mess called the year 2020 is that I discovered and binge listened to all the episodes during quarantine. Oh, thank you. So thank you so much for your amazing podcast. I decided it's time to share with y'all about some of the things I saw as an assistant to a Christian pastor who sometimes performs exorcisms.
Get out of here.
My goodness. Sometimes during prayer or worship, some people will start manifesting or showing outward signs of possession in the form of guttural screaming, deep laughter. So this is when you see speaking tongues, sort of, is what my guess is.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Oh, well, finish. Yeah, maybe.
Oh, are you reading ahead?
I only have it open so I don't accidentally click on mine, but I just glanced
Do you
and saw
remember when I
different
used to do that to
languages.
you, and then one day you found out I was reading along with you, and you got so mad that you made me shut the computer?
I promise I'm not reading
No,
along,
no,
but
I don't think you are. But I just was like, oh my god, I just remembered the time that I did that, and then I finally
well,
like.
because I would be like, I hadn't gotten to the good part yet, and you'd go, and I'd be like,
No, what would
Christy.
happen is I would say it says is not his, or I would like correct
Oh,
you as you spoke. It was like really fucking rude. Like I was being a real asshole.
well, now no one knows how bad of a reader I am. At least that's
It
nice.
was
So,
no, no. It was just me being like, it's because also I picked the stories, so I think I already knew them anyway. So it was like way
right.
back when I was already prepared. Okay. Anyway, let's see. Sorry. So deep laughter, contorting faces, speaking different languages. Of course, there are those who fake it for attention and those who are convinced they're possessed, but it's either their hypochondria or an actual illness. And
Mm.
then there's a third category. This is where it gets interesting, and the reason exorcism movies don't get to me anymore. Oh. These are now listed in bullet form, by the way, like a
Oh
list.
shit. Okay.
Let's go. First on the list, I've seen a scrawny 13-year-old girl throw a full grown man like he's a rag doll while growling, "She is mine and I am taking her tonight." Oh my
Oh my
goodness.
god.
Oh my
Okay. Tell
God.
me that was the only bullet.
The end. No, there are unfortunately quite a few more. Next up, a 68-year-old woman crawling straight for the exit on all fours, expertly weaving through the many people, chairs, and tables with her eyes closed.
Are
What
you
on earth
fucking
is
kidding
happening
me?
here?
Are you fucking
What
kidding
is
me?
going on? Why are we not making a documentary about this shit?
Why are so many people crawling in these stories? We have
Elbows
elbow
galore.
alien. We've got that little kid under the bed. We've
Oh,
got
you're right.
this woman with her eyes are closed and yet she's just weaving through everybody. Oh my god.
Oh my God. Okay. A young woman calmly predicting the exact moment the fuses would blow and the lights were going to go out. Fun fact, one of our counselors later told us how he saw that woman's leg being pulled by something while she was laying down. What?
Oh no.
A
I hate
middle-aged
that.
man mimicking my words as I was saying them to him as if we were both reading the same script at the same time. Ew.
Ew! Oh
Ew. I have
my god!
like goose came on my neck. I don't like this.
You know, being a baby is hard enough. You did not have to go through this shit. Like, this
This is
is
a
too
lot.
much. This is too
In the
much.
house of the Lord of all things. Oh my
Well, maybe I don't know. Maybe I don't know. I'm glad you got out of there for many reasons, but
well, maybe. I don't know that they did. Maybe they still work there.
if
Do we
you
know?
have seen these things and you
And you still
chose to
work
stay
there.
there,
This is a
that is
problem.
not my fault. That is
We don't approve of your life choices. Oh my God. Okay. A woman whose neck would inflate and deflate as if she were a frog. Okay. That
good
was
night.
strange.
Oh my, I can't figure out which one I hate more.
Agreed. Like which one I would least like to see. I can't decide. A young girl who wouldn't let me touch her forehead or arms because the touch burned her and she would recoil and dodge every time, even though her eyes were closed, and even once dodged while I was behind her, meaning there was no way she could see me coming. Also, I love that they were just like, let me try and get her from behind. Grabbing
It's
her
like
arms.
actively try to like just like touch her
Poke her.
forehead, specifically the forehead. Doink.
Oh boy. Okay. Have you ever seen those people who seem to just flop or fall over when someone prays for them? I've seen at least 5 people who didn't fall, but instead ended up completely diagonal. I'm saying Michael Jackson during smooth criminal
Oh
levels of
no.
diagonal, and no amount of
Ew.
pushing or pulling will help until they decide they're done. Okay,
Good
actually, I was
night.
just listening to Jim Harrell's Campfire, and a woman called in and said she was at a sleepover, and her friend kept saying like, "I know how to talk to spirits" or something, and she was like really freaked out. And the girl said, "Watch," and like was able to like lean her body all the way forward, and then like snapped out of it and like fell. Basically, it
Oh
was like
my
the same
god.
story, and I'd never heard that before, but it sounds really similar.
That is horrific.
It's horrific.
I've never heard that before. And now I swear to God, if I ever see that in my life, I don't know,
That really
burn
sounds
my
like a
eyes
horror
out.
movie that like it's like similar to crawling, like something unnatural that like
Oh, it's
adults aren't
so
supposed to be doing.
it's
Ugh.
so unnatural. Oh my god. Okay, just keep going.
Okay,
I want
okay.
out of this.
Next,
I want to
next.
crawl away like everyone else.
On your elbows. Let's see. Lots of vomiting. It's almost always air. Like no matter whether they just ate or not, it's always spit and air. Okay,
Huh.
yucky.
Okay.
A man who seemed to have eyes behind the eyes. What? as in
Excuse
a second
me?
set of irises behind his own. You
Ew.
live in like a nuclear reactor because I feel like the frog lady.
Are you from Chernobyl? Is that where
Yeah.
you emailed us? Well, I mean, that's also creepy because if you're looking in their eyes, which are the windows to the soul, you can
And
see
then
someone
see
else
another
invading your
eyes.
soul.
Ah! No,
Mm.
thank you. And this is the last one of the bullets, so don't worry. Okay, it says the most disgusting smells you can imagine suddenly appearing as soon as the demon begins to manifest.
Oh my God.
So, and now it says, moral of the story, please share. It says, just know that when you open a door, you don't get to decide which entity comes through. Don't mess with Ouija board. Okay, well, no, you don't need to call me out, Jay. All right, don't mess with Ouija boards if you don't know what you're doing. Don't mess with witchcraft if you don't know what you're doing. Don't let anger or resentment fester in your heart. Don't make deals with shady creatures. That one I'll follow.
Okay.
The
That's fair.
resentment, I don't know. I can't guarantee that. I'm a Gemini.
I still
with
have a lot of
feelings.
hate.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I have a lot of feelings.
13 was a tough year.
Yeah, I'm carrying it well into the decades. I'll work on it. The thing's already too long. Oh no, this thing's already too long. But I just want to say thank you for your time and effort, and for all the laughs and scares. You are the highlight of my week. Wow, Jay.
Wow,
Thank
you are the highlight of my night terrors that will start as of tonight. So thank you, Jay.
Oh my gosh, Jay. I hope that you are not having your own night terrors, but I guess you're not scared of horror movies anymore, so there's that bonus.
Jay, can you write in again and please let us know how you sleep at night? Like, what the fuck?
How do you sleep at night?
How do you see that and then go and then just like clock out and be like, ugh, I gotta go grab McDonald's. We're running late and I don't have time to make dinner tonight. Like, how do you
gotta go walk the dog real quick? I mean,
how do you be like, anyway, can I take the day off tomorrow? I have to go see my mom. Like, how do you just make other things normal after
that? Any shadow out of the corner of my eye, I'd be like, it's a woman with a frog neck crawling through the chairs. Like I would like build my imagination out of control.
Woo!
If this were my day to day.
You've got to just like accept that you're going to be surrounded by demons all the time, right? I don't know.
I get, or I guess if you're working at a place that gets rid of them, maybe you feel safe. Like,
I guess how
to protect yourself. Maybe, I don't know.
I'm at a loss for words, to be completely honest with you. I don't have an answer. Yikes. Thank you, Jay. This is from Ashley, who has she, her pronouns. Thank you for normalizing pronouns. Ashley's subject line is a cemetery manager and ghosts who slam doors.
Ooh, I love cemetery stories.
This says, hi, Eva, Christine, M, and all various furry and fruity spooky friends.
Aw, that's cute.
I was looking for my first ever podcast to listen to this past December, and then That's Why I Drink jumped out at me. I know I'm late to this whole podcast thing. It took me 3 months of binging, but I'm finally caught up.
Wow. Whoa. So you're not even that late. You're ahead of the game, it sounds like.
Yeah, it sounds like you're right on time. I've always had a love of all things spooky and weird. I currently manage 2 cemeteries in 2 small towns in Ontario. Oh my God, she's Canadian. Oh my God. I have done or helped with almost every job at a cemetery, from cutting grass to helping with burials, selling plots to arranging graveside services. My office is located on the larger of the 2 cemeteries where I mainly work alone. Because of where we are located and because Canadian winters, we don't do any burials in the winter. That means we store the bodies over the winter in the storage vault located under my office.
Oh, sure.
That checks out. That checks out. I'm often asked if it bothers me to have the bodies there while I work. My response is always, as long as they stay quiet, I don't have a problem with them. And 99% of the time, they do stay quiet. Uh-oh.
Yeah, no.
In my 11 years working at the cemeteries, I have had only one paranormal type of experience. It's always where you most expect it. Nothing fucking happens. It blows my mind. So wild. At the time, there was a radio in my office, but never listened to it. When I returned from lunch one day, the radio was on. Let me remind you, I work alone in the office and I was the only one with keys. And just to make it a little weirder, the radio was playing the station I had just been listening to in the car.
Oh. That is weird. That's
I don't like
weird.
that. I don't like that because it means it followed you. It knew you were. It had seen you in a car away
it's
from.
Like trying to like predict what you want to listen to, or yeah, it's creepy.
When I was driving back to, I was listening to it in the car when I was driving back to work. I walked up to the radio and reached out to shut it off, and boop! It turned itself off before I could touch it.
They were like, "Fine, you don't like it? Jeez, I'll turn it off."
It's like, why are you approaching? I thought we were having fun in that car. You didn't know, but we were.
We were dancing. It was great.
This happened over the winter when I had some people in the winter vault. My only explanation is someone in the vault was unhappy that they had to wait until spring to be buried and decided to let me know they were there.
I wonder what song it was.
Yeah, I
always
really
wonder
wish
if there was symbolism in it.
I don't know.
She's probably like, it was Katy Perry. There was not symbolism. Don't worry about it. But
Or it was something really like grungy, like really angsty. I personally believe cemeteries are not as haunted as people believe. They are way
Agreed.
more. There are way more places someone would have an attachment to than just the place where their body or
Exactly.
ashes are buried.
I
I
always
think so too.
that because I'm like, I get that they're spooky, but like, what are they hanging around there for? Unless you're like going to visit or they.
If anything, they were put to rest there,
That's what
right?
I'm thinking. Or like, why would if you had a problem on Earth, like you didn't spend your time, I would assume, at the cemetery unless you had family there or
Yeah,
something.
you don't have memories attached to it that your soul would want to visit. Your
Yeah.
family or your friends probably aren't there 24/7.
I've
So
never been creeped out by, okay, I guess I literally grew up in one, but I've never really been creeped out by cemeteries because I'm like, they're not here. I think they're like, I don't know, where they grew up or somewhere more important to them.
when you were a kid, did you ever just like walk around the cemetery at night and not be freaked out?
Oh, all the time. Yeah. We also had a black cat that would go in there. It was hilarious because he would just like
My
he'd
God.
scare the crap out of people. I mean, it was like our cat, but they would like see him walk from behind a gravestone and people would freak out. So we spent a lot of time just watching him kind of scare the neighbors.
There's someone in Cincinnati who like has local lore about your cemetery, about
like there was this teenage girl who would drag her Ouija board in there and then her stepdad would make her throw it away and she kept doing it. Yeah, that's me.
So there are way more places someone would have an attachment than just the place where their body or ashes are buried, and the living do way weirder things at a cemetery than the dead. See Christine with
Like
her Ouija board.
Like I fully admit to that. Yes.
I've had many other ghostly experiences outside of the cemetery, and I'll quickly share one more story with you before leaving the rest for another time. Trying not to word vomit all the spooky things at once, so this email ends up being at least mildly coherent. I appreciate that. Thank you. One of my childhood homes was 100% haunted. Doors would swing open and shut by themselves all the time, mainly at night, and I once locked my bedroom door to try to stop the door from opening. I watched as my door unlocked itself,
Wow.
turning the knob, and flung itself open again.
Mm-mm.
I get chills just thinking about it. Another time at this house, I had a bunch of books I had borrowed from the town library about ghosts, spiritualism, mediums, and the occult. And I had put them on my bed, the center of my bed, not near the edge. And while I was sitting across the room alone, the books flew off my bed and into the door. I guess the ghost didn't like that I was trying to research them.
Yeah.
I don't like that it like flew into the door, almost like the door is where all this energy is happening.
Yes, it like sucked it over or like
Yeah.
drew attention to it.
Thanks for taking the time to read this, even if it doesn't make it on the episode. Sending lemony citrus blessings, positive owl hoots, and whale noises your way.
You really are caught up.
You are caught up. Stay awesome, Ashley.
Ashley, wow, what a story. I mean, the radio is spooky. The continuity of like walking into your office and the same songs playing on a radio you've never touched is not good for me. It's not feel good for me. No. I mean, it does make sense that occasionally maybe a spirit is like unhappy with the way they're not being put to rest. Like, I feel like that makes sense if you're in a holding phase or something.
Yeah, it also makes sense to me that like they were probably just bored and you were the only person leaving the grounds. And so they just followed you out of sheer boredom and heard the song and just wanted to keep rocking out with you.
They were like, why did you turn that off? Yeah, it could.
Yeah.
It could
I thought
be
you were having a good
entirely
time.
Yeah, and then you turned it off again, by the way, which I feel like they probably didn't appreciate. Wow, what a tale. These were good, Eva. I know that you're haunted now, but it was worth it, in my opinion.
Wow. Well, that's all we got. That's all she wrote, and that's all she read. And by she, I mean Eva.
That's all they read. That's all we read. That's all H bomb. No, what did you call them?
Big H. Big H.
Oh, yikes. Okay, wrong name.
Thank you, everyone who listened. If you would like to submit your own stories, you can do that on our website and that's why we drink.com at the contact tab. And please send them in. We do a listeners episode at the first of every month.
Yay.
And
that's
why
we
will be really insane at our next listeners episode because it will be the day before our birthdays.
Birthday time!